The views expressed are not necessarily those of 1010XL 92.5 FM. Now, recruiting tips, advice, and better ways to train. B3 Better presents The Amateur's Edge with Jerrian Sanders, Randy Wade, and A.D. Roberts.
Good morning, good morning. Man, this is going to be exciting, man. Listen, we got a full house today.
We got a full house.
We got a full house. Jay is in the house.
Randy in his head.
Because he couldn't keep his hat on. He had to take the hat off so he can have the headphones on. But, you know, we still love you, bro.
I got you. I'm something like you put on salad dressing, bro.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I can see that because, you know, you dripping now.
I got you. It's no problem that I dress for the show and y'all look like I go into the gym.
Okay, it's all good.
We'll take that, Jay. What you say?
It's
Good
all
deal. Good deal. You looking clean, man. I'm proud of you, man.
Appreciate it, fellas. I got a date tonight.
All right, make it happen.
And he's ready already, early in the morning. He's
Yes,
ready
I'm
for
ready.
the date tonight.
He laid out his outfit last night before he went to bed.
He got his Easter suit on.
I prepared, man. I had a special date tonight I wanted to get right for it, bro. That part, man.
We love it, man. We love it.
Yes,
We got a great show for you, ladies and gentlemen. We got a great show lined up because we got some great stuff coming up.
We definitely do.
We got the draft coming up. We got all kinds of great stuff, man. So kick it on off, Jay.
Yeah, so we brought my main man, Cleo Lemon, in the house today. Cleo is a former NFL player, played for the Jags, Miami Dolphins, the Ravens, the Chargers, also played in the CFL. Again, being at this draft season, we wanted to bring in someone who, went through the experience and also played in the league. And we wanted to get a couple of stories. We've been talking the past couple of weeks and talking about the coaching changes and things like that, and Urban Meyer and what all happened with the Jags. And, he actually had the opportunity to play for Nick Saban.
That's big because
That was big.
Nick Saban didn't coach too long.
He didn't coach long at all. So we got Cleo in the house. Cleo, how you doing today, man?
Man, doing great, guys. I appreciate you guys having me on, man. Looking forward to it.
No problem. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about in the next segment. But going into this first one, we talking a little bit about this Final Four, man. Did anybody get a chance to look at that game last night, Iowa against South Carolina?
I didn't see it, but old girl is like that, man.
Caitlin Clark.
Yes.
She's the
like
real
that.
deal.
She's like that.
She's the real deal. She's definitely one of those transcending type players. Like she really took over. She's taken over the whole tournament. I think she's like 19 points away from breaking Cheryl Swoop's record.
Whoa, for
Yeah,
real?
170 points in the tournament. It's 169 is the record. She's 19 points away from that.
Yeah, I just wonder where she got her swag from. Like, what she get that from? Her swag is like that, man. It's
She
crazy.
definitely
I
is.
never seen that before.
She definitely is. And LSU, they took care of business yesterday as well. So that's gonna be a real good game. I'm looking forward to watching that. I actually like watching women's basketball.
And women's basketball is definitely more fundamentally sound than any
Way
other
more
basketball.
fundamental.
Like men's NBA stuff like that. Like if you want to train your kid how to play the fundamentals of basketball, like watch women's basketball.
Definitely. Cleo, you got a chance to check out the game last night?
Man, saw the game. Was excited to see the finish between Iowa, South Carolina. I'm not gonna lie. I was rooting for South Carolina. I wanted them to pull it out. But just to see, the talent, she has and what she brought to the table and how she finished them off, it was impressive. And I think she's a superstar.
She's definitely. She we were talking a little bit about before the show. She's in that Steph Curry family. Steph kind of brought her along, and she works out with those guys and puts in a lot of time in the off season, and you can see it, man. And it's definitely a testament to the hard work that she puts in. So
And then definitely to bring it back to kids, man. It's like for parents, like when you're training your kids and stuff like that, like they are gonna be at a certain level, but like it's just a moment that you see. It's a moment that you see where they go like away from you and they just do their thing in sports and they carry themselves on from that. Because like people would always say my son was this or my son was that, and I was like, nah, he all right, whatever. And then a couple moments I saw, I was like, dang, he gonna be straight.
do you remember that first moment when you knew like he's different?
It was a basketball moment. It really wasn't a football moment.
Really?
I was late to Atlanta. He was playing in Atlanta for a team, and me and my middle son was late there to the game, and we go and sit down underneath the goal, like everybody there is packed or whatever, and like we just sit down and we look up, and he dunks on this kid like sideways like Michael Jordan, like boom in front of our face, and we didn't even know it was him. We was like, what in the world? Like that jump took me and my son for like that's when like he came upon himself. He was scoring like 30 points a game in basketball. He was he used to be ranked, but at that time he wasn't. But like he just dunked on this kid sideways, and we never seen it before. Like he was in his feelings, like he was doing something. I was like, dang, bro. Like I was just a fan for real.
Yeah.
That was one of the moments. Really
Good deal. Pro days wrapped up this past week. Florida had a good pro day. AR-15 did his thing this past week. What you think about his draft status, Cleo?
I think it's the NFL, man. It's unpredictable. You know, when you say, you know, this guy's projected to be the overall draft pick, you know, you're talking about, you know, Bryce Young that could possibly take it. And some other guys that are out there.
CJ, don't forget
Like
about
Stroud?
CJ.
Yeah,
Don't forget about CJ. Ohio State.
CJ, yeah, but at the same time, you know, Ohio State doesn't have, you know, that traditional successful NFL quarterback.
Ooh, that's deep. That hurt me hard.
That's true, though.
That hurt me hard, though.
Think about it.
That hurt me hard, though, bro. You're right about it.
They
Truth
all
hurts.
play well
The truth hurts.
in college. They all play well, Buckeye Nation in college, and then it doesn't transfer into the NFL. So you got to think general managers, coaches, those are conversations, real conversations that they're having.
The two opposing quarterbacks are from Bama and from Florida. Other than now, name me a Alabama quarterback, and then name me a Florida quarterback. Like look at it. Like it's not like that for either one.
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Alabama doing anything now.
But that's where I was going with the conversation is that choosing quarterbacks, man, is unpredictable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning.
You can't
No,
say.
not Peyton Manning. Tom Brady.
Yeah.
You just really can't say the college success is going to transfer into the NFL success.
That's true.
You know, but for me, and big ticket, you know, getting people to the stadium, I think, you know, the Gators quarterback, he will be a box office talent. Now, can they develop that into a winning talent? I'm not sure, but he definitely possesses that.
Cool.
My big thing is winning, man. Like you have to be a winner. So many people these days judge things off stats. That's why they say LeBron is better than Jordan because of stats.
So
right?
is that the case? Tim Tebow should still be in the league. He was a winner.
But winning is a team sport, and to everybody's credit or discredit, I think the quarterback gets too much credit for winning.
And you know more about it than me.
And that's coming from a quarterback.
I give you that.
Who played at a high level.
But I'm saying the quarterback is the driver of this bus.
Yeah, in situational football, I would say 2-minute drills in the games. Can they do it? Have they done it? Yeah, that's definitely an outliner. But
Cleo, let me get you to hold that thought because we got to go to break in a second. But I did want to give a shout-out to Paris Johnson. His mom was on the show last week.
Yes.
Paris tore up his pro day. That man looked like a ballerina out there on that field. If I was a general manager and you listened to the interview his mom did and she spoke about the character of that young man, I would definitely draft that kid.
Without question.
He would be a cornerstone. He's going to be a cornerstone for somebody's franchise.
Absolutely.
Phenomenal young man, phenomenal athlete.
Great family.
All the intangibles.
We're going to pick that up. Listen, this segment was brought to you by Bank of England Mortgage Jacksonville, helping home buyers and homeowners accomplish their financing goals. Head on over to www.boejax.com and get to know their dedicated team. You're listening to The Amateur's Edge on 1010 XL 92.5 FM.
There are many fish in the sea, but there's only one Captain Kevin catching them. The Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show.
I limit it out.
Thursday nights at 6.
Oh my gosh, giant, dude, giant.
On 1010XL AM.
If you're heading to the Og or you're already part of the nation's oldest, don't forget to drop into Sunset Grill. For over 30 years, serving up great chowder, seafood, wings, and cold beer. Sunset Grill, somewhere on A1A, St. Augustine Beach.
Roland, 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 we're all calling Roland. The toilet's overflowing, oh my.
When you've got a leak and can't wait a week, call Roland Reese Plumbing, 260-7059.
Coffee? Have a cup of coffee with Jacksonville's favorite son, Tony Baselli.
I don't suppose there's any possibility of getting an espresso or a cappuccino.
Breakfast with Baselli.
Brought to you by
Epstein & Robbins DUI Defense Firm. Monday morning on 1010XL.
First Coast Cargo is one of the region's leading asset-based logistics and transportation providers. First Coast Cargo has the area's largest fleet, provides final mile services in Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia for Fortune 500 companies such as Amazon, Walmart, and Lowe's, as well as specialized or white glove services for FedEx, UPS, and other national logistics companies. First Coast Cargo, Headquartered in Jacksonville, Florida, with its extensive experience and dedication to exceeding customer expectations, provides transportation, warehousing, logistics, and 3PL services to customers nationwide. Manufacturers, distributors, and purchasing agents know they can depend and rely on First Coast Cargo to be at their side 24/7, 365 days a year. Visit First Coast Cargo at firstcoastcargo.com or call with your transportation or logistics needs at 328-5700.
3D Digital has you covered for any of your business's digital marketing needs. From producing award-winning videos to getting those digital ads to follow your customers around the internet, our team has your back. Visit 3ddigital.com or give us a call at 904-712-4004 to schedule a free consultation today. 904-712-4004.
1010XL is your home for Gators sports.
That ball's ripped.
When you hear Florida Gators baseball on 1010XL, it's brought to you by Renewal by Anderson, the official window and door replacement partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
Fair ball, home run.
Catch Gators baseball all season long on 1010XL.
That little indicator light has been telling you to get an oil change. For how long now? But you're busy, and auto service takes time. So how about hurry on over to a Famous Quick Lube right now? 13 locations open 7 days a week with super fast oil change service while you wait comfortably in your own car, starting at under $30. Now that's Famous. For fast, reliable oil change service at your convenience, visit Famous Quick Lube, servicing every customer like they're famous.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Monahan Jewelers is your local family jeweler for 44 years with a huge selection of GIA certified diamonds, gold, fine gemstone and diamond jewelry, and designer brands from all over the world. With our interest-free financing, we make it easy to acquire the perfect gift. Monahan Jewelers also specializes in custom jewelry design with thousands of customers all across Jacksonville. Come experience our beautiful selection of fine jewelry at your local family jeweler, Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. It's the Amateur's Edge, brought to you by B3 Better on 1010XL.
And we're back. Listen, it's a great show because we have Cleo Lemon in the house today with us, and he's really sharing some, he's got that locker room experience.
The insider.
The inside report.
Yeah. Definitely. And he gave a real good perspective on teams and how much credit quarterbacks give, and it was very interesting. So, Cleo, can you pick up on that thought for us?
Yeah, and I think that's the hardest part of the draft is evaluating quarterbacks, right? So these guys come from all different backgrounds, different levels of play. You see guys that are successful from the FCS level and also from the Power 5 level. So you got to make sure you have the right locker room guy.
Yeah.
For what you have, right? That personality has to fit your locker room. And every personality doesn't fit every locker room. And it doesn't fit every head coach because they're tied at the hip. So when they're tied at the hip, they're going to rock through their career together, right? And they have to be on the same page. And I think when you're evaluating them, man, it's not rocket science, man. You look at Power 5 recruiting, it's people miss. The draft, first round, people miss. So I think you have to have a lot of luck in it.
Yeah.
I think you have to have, some gut feelings just on a personal level of who that person is because they're all talented.
And statistics have shown, like, if you draft a quarterback and they're a bust, it could set your franchise back 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years?
10 years.
It's going to definitely set you back 4 to 5 because of that rookie deal, right? So it's going to set you back at least 5, right? Because they're going to be on that rookie deal. They have the option to, take it that 5th year. So you'll see that with Justin Fields in Chicago, right? What they're going to do with him. You hear a lot of talk around him, right? I think he's talented. Does he fit the Bears? I don't know. I think if you take him and put him in the 49ers system, I think he's better than Trey Lance.
You think he'll thrive there?
I think he'll be I think he'd be a superstar with that coach. That's just my opinion.
So, which quarterback do you think will fit the Panther system?
See, that's the thing with, the new coaching staff and their adjustments, which direction they want to go, right? The fan base, they love Cam Newton. So they would probably want a carbon copy of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're used to that, right? But for the system they're running, it might be the kid Levitt from Kentucky. I don't know, right? It might be that kid. It might be Bryce Young. I'm not sure. But they're having those conversations, and that's what they're talking about. What's the fit for the community? What's the fit for the city? What's the fit for the locker room? And those are the conversations they have.
But that's my thing. I do not think personally that NFL teams want to win. I think a lot of NFL teams just want to make money. So I feel like they make decisions just based off money. How do you feel about that?
I think it goes hand in hand. I think because of the salary cap, there's not a quick fix. I think everybody wants a quick fix. Mm-hmm. It takes time to build that organization, right, from the ground up. And you would start with the quarterback, but honestly, you start with the front seven, right? You start with the O-line. You start with the D-line.
That's what you start with, yeah.
And then you start expanding from there. And then if you have a trigger man, you roll with him, but you don't want to overpay. To Jerrian's point, that'll set you back because now you have to pay all these other guys. So now when you start seeing guys getting traded, getting released, it's all money. It's all salary cap. And it's because they need to stay under that because they have to add talent through the draft.
That makes sense when you talk about building the team. Like, these owners, we got to remember they're businessmen, and they don't want to lose money. I'm not sure how much money they're looking to make off their teams. Because, again, you take a guy like Arthur Blank, who owns Home Depot. Mm-hmm. Like, that's how he makes his money. Robert Kraft, Kraft Cheese. They buy these teams almost – and this is like playing Monopoly for them. And they're business people. They don't want to lose money.
For the owners, buying an NFL team is a tax write-off, right? So that's why they want to buy into the NFL. Because once they buy a team, Shah Khan buy a team, the Jaguars, they're going to cut him a $250 million check back as soon as he buys the team.
So that's what I'm saying. So that's killing your point, right?
I've got you. So you're telling me right now the Michael Vick experience versus Home Depot is not even close, right? It's not even close how much money you make, right? Not even close at all.
Hold on, I'm not understanding what you.
So when he's comparing the Michael Vick experience money versus
what Michael Vick was making back then. Michael Vick was making a lot of money.
He was making a lot of money.
A lot of money,
definitely.
But I think if you would see the numbers that Home Depot does, I think
I got you. So I got you. Hold on. So hold on. This one I'm coming at. Okay, Home Depot, Michael Jordan shoes. It's not even close.
Are you asking who makes more money?
Michael Jordan makes, I read something, Michael Jordan makes, millions of dollars in hours on his shoes.
You think Michael Jordan makes more, his shoes sell more than Home Depot items?
How much does it take to run a Home Depot?
Can we Google that?
Hold on. How much it takes to run a Home Depot? How much does it take to make a Jordan shoe? I'm just saying, just look at it. How much does it take to run a Home Depot? And you got to pay people, you got insurance, you got all that kind of stuff. But how much money does it take to make a Michael Jordan shoe? And we go crazy over it.
Okay, but how long did it take Mike and Phil Knight to build that?
Took a while. I got you 16 years, I guess.
It took a while, right?
Right, it took a while.
It took a while. So that's with anything. It's building an NFL roster. It's building a business. It's going to take a while to get to that point. So I'm not saying Mike's not making his money because that's where he butters his bread, right, with his shoes. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I think,
Gotcha.
Like that.
Okay.
Dang, okay.
Yeah,
there we go.
Like that.
Definitely. So, Cleo, I know you tell us a little bit about your draft experience. Like, how was that for you, going into the draft? And, was you anxious? Did you have a draft party? Tell us a little bit about your background.
You know what? My draft experience was exciting at the time, right? Had scouts that were coming to the school. I played at Arkansas State. Was a 4-year starter there. And we used to have scouts that come to practice, come meet with me. So I was getting really positive feedback. I signed with Jimmy Sexton coming out of college. Really well-known agent, great guy, was helping me tremendously. And, I was projected to be 4th, 5th-round pick. I was great with that, right?
Yes, for sure.
Excited about it. And then the draft for me was a horrible experience, right? So I didn't get drafted. I watched all 7 rounds.
So teams were telling you they were going to draft you? They were telling your agent that? And that's what y'all anticipating?
Right. Yeah. So I was excited about the day. Had an intimate party with my family at home. Didn't hear my name called. After the draft, my agent called, and then the first thing he said, "Hey man, just hate to give you the bad news, but you failed every physical at the combine."
What?
I failed every physical.
So like what? Your shoulder problem,
other than
knee?
Knee. So I had an ACL reconstruction that I had to do. So my journey was a little different, right?
Okay.
So that was a kick in the face.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to go back to the drawing board. I had to have ACL reconstruction. I went back to school as a student coach. So I was coaching at Arkansas State, rehabbing at the same time, trying to fulfill this dream. And I was out of the NFL for 2 years. I had odd jobs, was playing arena ball, like just.
So post graduation.
Yeah, I'm grinding.
You grinding.
I'm grinding.
Mm-hmm. So you didn't go straight to the NFL out of college?
No. I was out. I was done. Written off, done. My time had passed. But I kept working, busted my butt, ended up creating an opportunity for myself through the University of Memphis. My offensive coordinator had moved on to that university as the offensive coordinator. Went over there, asked for a huge favor to compete in their pro day. Got in front of the scouts. They had a lot of really good players coming out that year. So basically the entire NFL was in this workout. That's how I got back on the map. Had a great workout, and then I signed with the Chargers. So
that's huge.
Yeah,
I know that.
I've always been a grinder, man. That's all about knowing.
That journey, man. That journey.
I
do want to say this though, like parents, like injuries. Like I remember, I should be in jail right now. I remember one time that the doctor, my son had a fractured arm or something like that, and I end up cutting the doggone cast off his arm, bro, so he can play. And so I want to tell the parents, like, let these kids rest, man. I was wrong for that.
You should be in
I got
in
you,
the
but it was a small. It was a hairline fracture. It was hairline, bro. It was a big game.
Hairline.
It was a pop one game.
Really, is a real injury.
I got you.
It don't mean like a hair follicle.
I got you, but I'm not trying to change subject. I just want to let parents know, like, injuries are big.
Hold on. Is there a statute of limitations on that? Can we still talk?
I think I'm good, bro.
Right.
I think I'm good, bro. I just want to let parents know. Listen, like, injuries
which
are
kid
serious.
was this?
Sean.
It was Sean all day long. It was Sean. It was a pop one a national game, and I just wanted him to play, and I just cut the thing. I just remember cutting it off, and I was wrong. And that builds to what he's saying about like you got to take care of your body, and like one reason that my son got drafted like lower than what he was supposed to is because he had injuries, and people don't know that. Like we rush our kids to play, do this. No, sometimes kids just need to rest.
No, that's real.
That's real. I just want to put that point up.
And just real quick for people that don't understand this. The combine is not about the 40. The combine is
interview.
No, it's about the physical.
Yes.
It's about the physical. It's a huge medical process.
Yes.
They're trying to get you in there, and they're going outside of the HIPAA laws. So it like if you listen to, DeMar Smith talk about let's end the combine. Like that's what it's about. Like it's about them getting all this medical information that otherwise they wouldn't be accessible to. And that's what they do at the combine. So now they know all your injuries. You go to a car lot, you're not going to buy a car that's banged up. You're not going to buy a used car that has, transmission problems.
Yeah.
Same thing as the NFL.
Yeah, I heard like during the combine that there's one day that you pretty much, getting medically evaluated like the whole day.
And that's the most important thing about the combine is the physical.
They want to see where you at. They want to know everything about you because they're spending so much money on you.
And I can understand that because, that's a high-ticket investment you're making. So I would want to know every bit about you as well.
You're right, bro. Like, you wouldn't make it, bro. You'll fail your physical, too, because, like, you ain't ugly. You oogly. You oogly,
Listen,
for real.
Man, Sean has lost a good 60 pounds now, and he just,
Yeah, I'm like that.
That's Randy.
That's Randy. I'm Sean Dad. I'm Sean Wade Dad. I got you. Yeah, I'm like
that. That's what you are known as, Sean Wade's dad.
Yeah, I do know that. I said it in the thing. I'm Nola Trailway and the Strength Way. Yes, that's how I'm known for one of my kids.
Well, I'm going to correct that. Randy has lost 60 pounds. It's a whole other ball game.
I'm something like you put on salad dress. That part.
So, Cleo, coming from Greenwood, Mississippi, small town. I'm pretty sure not a lot of guys make it out of there. Are you the toast of the town there?
You know what, man? They just inducted me to our Hall of Fame.
Oh, that's huge.
Which was awesome. Had my family there.
Congratulations.
Man, I appreciate that, man. That was huge, to be, honored in front of your your classmates, you know, your neighbors, people you've known all your life. We just did that last year. It was incredible, man.
You got the key to the city? They gave you the key to the city?
Something like that.
Yeah,
you know,
okay.
You got
you
a
know.
day? Is there like a Cleo Lemon day?
I don't have a day, but
we gonna work on that day. You need to have a day.
But the thing about that whole process, I think, is it just comes full circle. That you see all the work you put in, and it's being honored and it's being appreciated. So, you know, we were happy about that as a family, and it was fun times, man.
Good. So looking back on your career, what would you say some of your biggest challenges were that you faced?
My biggest challenges, I would say, honestly, coming out of a small town in Mississippi, you know, I would say confidence. I didn't realize, you know, what type of athlete or what type of level I was on when I was coming out, right? So I wasn't a national recruit. I wasn't around these national names, so I didn't know how I compared to everyone. So when I went to college, you know, threw for a lot of yards, had some fun, met some great teammates, and then I think, you know, my point of confidence came when I went to the combine, right? And
So you got invited to the combine?
Yeah, so I competed in the combine. I was with the draft class of 2001, so that was the Michael Vick year. And I was in a group, man, with Quincy Carter, Michael Vick, you know, all those guys, Chris Winkie. It was a deep group, but when it was time to, you know, throw that rock around, you know, I was just as good or better than a lot of those guys. And that's when I realized these guys is just hype. It's all hype. And then that's when I went into it with tremendous confidence after that, because I was bigger, I was faster, my arm was stronger, but nobody knew who I was. And everybody at the combine in those groups kept asking me, man, where are you from? What's your name? Like, you know, so it was a learning experience.
So what do you think separated you from the pack?
My work ethic. I think for me, my dad always instilled a work ethic in me. He was my basketball coach. He was a great athlete himself coming through. He played college basketball. And, you know, he always pushed me. And I think that's what separated me. It was my work ethic was you couldn't compare it to anyone else.
I can see that because, you know, that was like the biggest knock on Michael Vick. And he admitted it himself that he didn't have the greatest work ethic.
No, he didn't. And one of my biggest things is what he's saying, parents, like, make sure you take your kids away from the area you live in. The thing about it is the sooner you take them away from the area you live in and they can see how big the world is, they can really grow and understand, like, it's not about this cupcake stuff.
But to your point, they do have more opportunities
to
do that now than we did.
Yep.
You know, especially like in football. Basketball, we had AAU, so we was able to get out and travel and play kids outside our area. But in football, with 7-on-7 now, they are starting to get out and to see other players early going to those camps.
You need to be able to see the names of the people that you see on YouTube. You need to be able to be face to face with them, so you know when you go back home, you got to go work.
You got to go work.
That's the issue. People think they're good because they're good in their own area.
And to double down on what you're saying, establish relationships. Right? Don't go to these 7-on-7 tournaments and these combines and not introduce yourself, not, you know, get to know people from Utah and Cali and Texas, because when you make those connections, you guys will push each other to that next level.
True.
That's 100. That's 100. Good deal.
Well, we got some good stuff coming up. We got anything happening at B3?
Yeah, so at the end of this month, we're doing a DVS camp, a pitching camp. This isn't a skills camp per se. It's more of a biomechanics camp. So we actually have a program that is backed by the Mayo Clinic and Duke University.
Okay.
Where they break down the mechanics of throwing, and we video it and give you a report to show you where your energy leaks are. And then based off of that, we're able to prescribe a program that's going to help with injury prevention. So, again, this isn't actually teaching the pitching mechanics and placement of the ball and all that. It's more so the biomechanics of rotational movement or what have you. So we got a big camp coming at the end of this month, the 28th.
You know what's crazy, bro? I just thought about something. I should be a pitcher, bro, because I just like a strike.
You know what?
See, I need
and
that.
You know what? And guess what we're getting ready to do? We're going to go ahead and we're going to pay some bills real quick. Listen,
I needed that.
This segment was brought to you by First Coast Cargo. First Coast Cargo leads the freight and transportation logistics service market and is known as the region's most dependable and highly professional service provider. Contact First Coast Cargo toll free today at 844-731-0000. 2137 for all your professional shipping needs. You're listening to The Amateur's Edge on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
From the very beginning, 1010XL has encouraged and recognized the accomplishments of local scholar athletes.
Wednesdays on The Frangie Show.
Brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
And the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234.
If you're often tired, have trouble exercising, or your heartbeat feels irregular, you might have atrial fibrillation, or AFib. Left untreated, AFib can put a strain on your heart and increase your risk of a stroke. But the new Heart Rhythm Center at Baptist Health can help. With the latest treatment options for heart disorders like AFib, our team of specialists can get you feeling stronger again. Learn more at baptistjacks.com/AFib or call 904-202-2342.
Are you an electrician looking for better pay and benefits? Miller Electric Company has the industry-leading compensation package. Electricians are eligible for a signing bonus up to $1,000. Now, they're partnering with the Jaguars on their new performance facility, the Miller Electric Center. Miller Electric has opportunities for you to work on some of the most exciting projects right here in Jacksonville. Whether you're experienced or not, visit MillerCareers.com, an equal opportunity employer. That's MillerCareers.com.
Hey, I'm Liz Gruby, the events director of the Jacksonville Business Journal, and I'm here to invite you to join us for our annual 40 Under 40 celebration. It's a great chance to network and celebrate an excellent group of young leaders from all different industries. For tickets and details, visit jbjevents.com. And I hope to see you at our 40 Under 40 Awards Luncheon on April 20th at the Hyatt Regency Riverfront. jbjevents.com.
Talk about your team from your team's perspective.
It's the secret of genius.
Mike Tony and E.T. host Daily Jags Insiders from the JOI Studios.
Yeah, well, I believe you've got everybody's attention.
10 to noon weekdays on 1010XL.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and I said yes to Yas, Dr. Mitchell Yas, and the Yas method. Now, I know you've probably tried medications, treatments, injections, even surgery. Maybe the reason you're still in pain is because they're treating the wrong thing and not addressing the root causes. Well, I know from personal experience, this does happen. But I found the best-kept secret in pain elimination, Dr. Yas and the Yas method. Call him today, 904-906-YASS, and say yes to Yas.
Okay, for this Cannons of Jacksonville commercial, we need an idea to really come out with a bang.
Like having a guy shot out of a cannon.
Nah, too messy. In fact, Cannons is known for all your towing needs.
So like my car won't start.
No. Towing products. Cannons does custom welding fabrication and installation of trailer hitches, goosenecks, tow bars, truck racks.
So you might say Cannons is my best shot at finding that inventory in stock?
Boom. You said it.
Visit cannonsofjacks.com.
Ace Carline here from my friends at Claude Nolan Cadillac. I was just there for my routine service. They have more new cars now than any time in the past 2 years. An increasing number of vehicles continue to be delivered. No worries on rates. They have fantastic rates right now. There's so much more than just pre-owned Cadillacs in stock. Get down to Claude Nolan Cadillac today. Tell them I sent you. New or certified pre-owned. Begin your lasting relationship at Claude Nolan Cadillac off JTB and Southside across from Tinseltown.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. It's the Amateur's Edge, brought to you by B3 Better on 1010XL.
We got excited back then.
No, boy, we had to start bobbing our head and all. Hey, Rob, like the guy in your car changing the station and you bobbing to the beat. Come on,
Yeah,
Rob.
we're back.
Tighten up, man.
Hold on,
back,
bro.
right?
You got a guy in your car?
My bad, guys.
All right, no, we're back. We're back. Let's do this. Hey Jay, let's pick up this great conversation, man.
Good deal. So, Cleo, over the years, you shared a lot of stories with me. Some of the funniest stories you was telling me about was your experience with Nick Saban, and this is an interesting topic, especially for us in Jacksonville with the short stint that we had with Urban Meyer. You look at guys like Urban, and you look at Nick, who arguably are two of the greatest coaches in college football history.
Yeah.
Bring them up to the pro level, and they failed horribly. Can you give us a little insight on how that experience was playing for Nick Saban in the NFL?
For me, personally, it was incredible. I learned a lot from him. He's a real disciplined person, right? His routine is incredible. His determination, his ambition to be great is incredible. But he needs total control.
Yes.
Right? And he's not going. He wasn't going to get that at the NFL level.
It don't work like that in the NFL.
Yeah, you got to answer people, right? So
Nick wasn't trying to hit it.
As an Urban Meyer or Nick Saban or any of these great college coaches that find their way on that level, you have to answer to an owner who's a billionaire, right? And you got to have answers. Well, when they're at these state jobs, right? They're the highest paid person on campus, probably highest paid state employee.
Small college town.
Right, and they're the talk of the show, right? And when you get them in these environments to where instead of players playing for them, now you have to find a way to work with them in the professional setting because you got to, I played with Truck, he was a 15-year player with a son that was in college, right?
You play with who?
Truck. Yeah, he was a defensive lineman for the Miami Dolphins, big truck to trailer. I'm talking about, he was out 3 technique, shade that stopped the run, but his son was in college, right? He wasn't trying to listen to what Saban was saying, right? After practice, it was time to condition and run the college stuff. Truck was like, nah, I'm good.
And just wouldn't run.
What? Would take his pads off and go get on the bike. Like, nah, Nick, I'm good. JT, hey, nah, I'm good today,
Jason
coach.
Taylor?
Yeah. JT, nah, I'm not doing that today, coach. Nah, I ain't doing that. That ain't in my contract. I ain't running no damn 100-yard sprints. I ain't doing that.
I'm already in shape type stuff.
Yeah, and I just practiced for 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I'm not doing that. You did that at in college. I'm not doing that. Yeah, I'm not doing that. So when he started getting that feedback, Zach Thomas, Hall of Fame, going into the Hall of Fame. Zach, incredible athlete, smart, right? He was basically a coach on the field. And Zach would make calls, and him and Nick would go back and forth on what's the appropriate call for that play. Zach wasn't trying to hear that. He wasn't trying to hear it. So when Nick kept getting that pushback, he was like, you know what? This ain't for me. Let me get back to college.
He didn't even finish the season.
Yeah, well, he finished.
He did?
He finished.
Okay.
But before he left, he actually threw me in as a starter. He didn't have to do that. He did not have to do that.
Okay.
Like, the season was coming to an end. Pep was hurt. We had Joey Arrington. Like, we were good. He could have just finished off the season like that. He brought me into his office. He said, hey, look, I'm starting you. I don't care what they say. I said, Coach, I appreciate that because you don't have to do this. And then he started me, and that's when I continued to move on in my career. So he didn't have to do that for me. So that's why I say everything that happened for me was because of Nick Saban and the decisions he made to help me along in my career.
Did he play ball with y'all? Because, he played basketball. He didn't play basketball with y'all, did he?
With the coaches.
Coaches?
Yeah, they played amongst themselves.
The biggest thing I remember about him, man, is his hair is like a helmet, bro. Like, I remember, and then he's so short.
Oh, that moose?
Yeah, moose or whatever. He got, what is it, Bantu, whatever he got. But, like, his hair runs like a helmet. And then I remember going to Alabama, and, like, he's so short, I couldn't see him through the crowd.
Right.
And then when he came through the crowd, it was like a moment. You know what I'm saying? But that hair don't move, bro. The hair, every string, it does not move, bro.
And then, you come in at halftime, we're making adjustments, we're getting going, and then, everybody's standing around in this huddle, and then you see Nick come pull a chair out of nowhere, and then he stands up in his chair.
For real? Real talk?
Man, halftime, before game, he had to stand up in the chair just to, look down on people.
Yeah, because he's so short. That's how you want to feel. Yeah.
And then he would challenge people in team meetings. Hey, you guys don't want to practice? You want to do this? Come up to my office. Let's fight.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Little Nick.
Man, Nick was, hey, man.
He was like
all
that.
right.
He was like that, bro.
Nick a gangster.
He was a gangster.
Gangster.
Because I'm saying the first thing he told me, like,
when he was recruiting Sean?
When he was recruiting Sean, I was in the bathroom. But, like, first thing he told me, he was like, your son is not going to play this year. He ain't going to do it. He didn't even say hello. Like,
straight up.
Straight up, bro.
Straight up.
No, he said, I'm Nick. The first
so that turned you off?
It turned me off, but he was being real. And that's the problem I didn't understand and parents don't understand. Like, you want somebody to be real with you rather than somebody who's going to just do some fake stuff.
Yes.
No, like, yes, he's not going to play. What you going to do to make him better type stuff. And we still went up there and we still visited or whatever, but, like, he was just too real. Nobody else was like that. Oh, well, other than Coach Combs, the DB coach from Ohio State, he was real too. But, like, he came off, bam. And I was like, man, dang, it shocked me.
So that's interesting to me, just thinking about, Nick and Urban who failed, but then you look at guys like Pete Carroll, who's been very successful, and then who did it before them, Jimmy Johnson. He went from Miami to the Cowboys. So I wonder what's the difference in their leadership skills.
I think it's a personality trait as well, right?
Yeah.
I think Pete doesn't take himself as serious.
You could see that too.
Yeah. And then leadership to me is motivation, but holding people accountable. You want to motivate people, but you want to hold them accountable when it's time to hold them accountable.
And they all hold them accountable. It's just the way they get to it.
Yeah.
Right. Nick is a straight shooter, right? And it comes off.
Yeah.
Probably for parents and players different.
Yeah.
They're not used to hearing it, right? They're not used to sitting in front of somebody with all these championship rings and all this success. And he's going to tell you straight up, this is what I need you to do. Do it. And if you don't, and the crazy thing is, he's going to hold his coaches to the same standard.
Urban Meyer used to not just videotape the kids, and the kids would get the videotape that evening after practice, right? He videotaped the coaches, and he challenges the coaches what they doing wrong, what they doing right. That's crazy.
He's developing the entire organization.
Oh, yeah. He like that, bro.
Yeah.
But you got to do that, right?
You got to. I mean, when you look at that coaching trees, you got to appreciate it. I mean, you look at Nick Saban's coaching tree. He has some heavy hitters. When you look at Jimbo, Kirby at Georgia, So you got to appreciate that.
And all those guys were at Miami with him, like all of them.
Really,
all of them. They were in Miami. Some were in roles that were assistant coaches, but some were in quality control roles, analyst roles, and then he's developing the coach and the player at the same time.
But he does. He goes overboard though. Saban, he goes overboard. We sitting in the DB meeting because Saban is DB coach. I don't care what nobody say. Saban loves the DBs. That's what he be at. So we sit in the DB room, and I forgot the coach's name. He coaches at Tennessee right now, but he talking right, showing film. Me and Sean and my ex-wife sitting up there listening, and like the coach is talking. He just started talking over him. And so he talking, the other coach talking, and it's just pandemonium. I'm like, bro, like, can one of y'all stop talking?
So they got into it?
No, they wasn't. They got into it. It's just Saban just talks over people. Don't get me wrong. He got another coaching job someplace else, but, like, to me, it was confusing. Like, we went there, we sitting in there like, how they going to learn? Because, like, this dude talking and Saban talking right over him. Like, after every statement, he'll show a play, and then the dude will talk. And then Saban talk over him. He'll show a play, the dude talk, and Saban talk. I'm like, bro, like, let the dude talk. Like, that ain't no training. Like, you talking over him, like, every time, bro.
See, but what that coach probably didn't understand was when Saban talks, Saban talks.
Yeah,
I got you. And then, like, once you in Alabama program, you're gonna go someplace you're gonna do good.
Or sometimes too, like when you're in a leadership position and you're trying to coach people and bring them along. When you engage in conversation like that, he's probably making points that guy missed. And he needs to be making mental notes. Like when you're coaching, these are the points that you need to be bringing up. Because I find myself doing it when I'm trying to coach my other coaches up as well. Like, go ahead and coach and do your thing, and I'm not going to correct you, but I'm going to add a little bit more onto it. When you see me add this stuff on, like, these are the points that you want to get across because this is going to help that athlete perform at an optimal level.
But what pissed me off about that whole thing, man, I didn't like that. But before I left, man, I tried to get a picture with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts pretty tall, by the way. And he called me Pops, bro. This was like years ago. I'm like, bro, ain't no Pops. And then he wouldn't give me the picture, bro. He was like, Pops, I got to go to the bus, Pops. I can't do it, bro. I'm like, it kind of pissed me off. I ain't no old dude like that, bro. I'm swaggy, bro. Like I'm crispy, bro. Don't call me Pops, bro. Like, no.
Good deal. So, Cleo, after your playing career, you went into coaching, man. How was that experience for you?
That was great because I didn't plan on going into coaching, right? My dad coached me. I was trying to stay away from it. I went back to school to finish up my degree, and then when I was taking these classes, I had a block of time throughout my day. And at the time, I was training DeAndre, right?
Yeah.
You connected me with DeAndre Johnson, and I was training DeAndre. So then it was brought, to my attention that it was an opportunity to go to First Coast and coach the quarterbacks and possibly be an offensive coordinator and all that. So then once I was kind of hesitant, I was like, I don't want to do any coaching. But then I went over there, met Marty Lee, great guy, met Coach C, great guy, and met every person in that, program. They're all great people. And then I started coaching, and I fell in love with it. Fell in love with it, man. It was just amazing. Had the best time, met the most amazing people, parents and players. And then I just got addicted to it, man, and I wanted more. And then selfishly, I took the next step to the college level, and that was going great. And then all of a sudden, I looked over at little man, and he shot up one time. Like, he was about this tall, and then all of a sudden, he was that tall. And I was like,
Cleo the third, little Cleo.
yeah. C3 then shot up. I was like, oh, let me pump the brakes on his coaching career. Let me get him right.
Yeah.
And that's when I made the decision to stop coaching, raise my kids. You know, I might get back to it.
No, for sure.
Because I love the profession. It's great. It keeps you connected to the young, generation, and you helping develop the entire person, not just the athlete,
Yes.
but just an African American male who needs that guidance. Sometimes they don't get that at home. Fortunately enough, your son got that at home. Sometimes they don't get that at home, and I was that for them.
And people don't understand that. I always say that, like, when a athletic director on the high school level takes on that position as the athletic director, they need to be very particular about the coaches that they hire for those young men, because those coaches do provide that fatherly or motherly figure that a kid may not be getting at home, or even if they are getting it at home. That's another strong influence in these young people's life that needs to be taken serious. That role of a coach is extremely important, and they have way more of an impact.
It's very important. I've had kids that go on to the NFL that I've coached on the college level. They still text and call me to this day,
big.
right?
Yeah,
So,
that's
what I appreciate the most.
That's the coolest part on the holidays. You look at your phone, you got like 100 texts saying, "Happy Thanksgiving, Coach."
Yep.
"Merry Christmas, Coach." Like, kids that didn't even like you, right? I was like, dang, I thought you ain't like me. But you pushed them so hard, and now they're grown people, and they appreciate what you done for them, man. And that's really what makes it all so worth it, man.
Yep.
How can a parent reach you if they have a quarterback kid or whatever? How can the parents reach you? You do training, right?
I do training. I don't just put myself out there. There's a lot of great trainers out here. I'm not the guy that's chasing, right?
Okay, for sure.
If you want to connect with me, Twitter, my personal cell phone would be the best way. But I'm kind of selective. I'm not really.
You just want to take a kid.
Yeah, I'm looking to really help these guys that's out here that's on the verge of taking that next step, that's on something major and something big. And I'm not looking to break the bank, right? I'm just looking to help where I can. I have all this knowledge. I want to pass it along, right? I don't want to hold it to myself.
That's big. And the thing about it, you cannot train effort and like energy. Like some people not motivated. You can't actually train that.
And then I can't give you the talent either.
No.
Right? There's a lot of kids that are trying to be great quarterbacks. And sometimes I tell them, hey, look, man, I can make you a great high school quarterback, because I feel like the training that I'm giving you, film study, breaking down the defense, understanding fronts, understanding coverages. I think I can help you be a successful quarterback, but your talent, it's going to take you to the next level. Everybody doesn't possess that, but it doesn't mean you can't have a great high school career.
Would you rather have a kid that work hard or somebody that's talented that don't work hard?
I'd rather have a kid that works hard, because
I'm with that too.
Because at the end of the day, they're gonna take those same characteristics and apply it to whatever they commit themselves to in life, and they're gonna be successful.
The dude that's talented that don't work hard, he's gonna make it to the next level probably, but he's not gonna be successful.
But at the same point, that talent, if you can mold that talent, it can be something special.
Definitely.
Now, can you connect with them? It's not, and it's not always on a football level, right?
No, it's definitely not on a football level. It's on a life level, for real. It's on a whole nother level. It's on a whole nother level.
We got a small amount of time. I wanted to definitely ask you this question. You touched on your coaching career a little bit. Didn't really get into the details, but I know you went through JUCO, small schools, and that coaching route is a long route. And we were talking about it the other week when we talked about the whole Ed Reed situation.
Right.
And, for me, looking at it and understanding the route of coaching, I know that one day you're going to be in Mississippi Valley State. The next day you might be in South Dakota State with lack of resources. And that's just what it is. And for me, I really didn't agree with everything that Ed Reed said and how he acted. And it's a huge topic that's still kind of out there. And I just wanted to get your take on it, man. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it was unfortunate the way it played out, because Ed Reed's a Hall of Fame player, right? He's a Hall of Fame person. I would have loved to see him carry that torch, for Bethune. But at the same time, Bethune made a decision, and you got to respect it, because you got to understand HBCU football man, they've been doing this for a long time. You know, without the popular former NFL player being the head coach, you know, they were doing this at Jackson State before Prime got there.
Definitely.
I was in high school, right, going to my, you know, they had a high school day. I can't remember the team they played, but it was 60,000 in the stadium, and we did the whole.
It was an HBCU game?
Yeah, it was Jackson State.
Oh, Jackson State. Okay.
Yeah, I'm at Jackson State. I'm at that high school day. It was 60,000 in the stand. This is in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? So this stuff has been going on. Like, Brian didn't create this. Now he took it to another level, but this has been going on for years, man. So you got to respect it. You know, you just can't come in and just say, "Hey, look, Bethune just need to do this because it's Ed Reed." No, they got a history of successful people. You know, athletics, non-athletics. So they're strong. It's a strong brand. So if they agree to part ways, that's business. Yeah, you go your way, we make a decision, we go a different way. It is what it is.
Wow. So that sets us up as we get ready to wrap up for today. We have another amazing project going on at B3. Give us 30 seconds, Jay.
Just a quick thing. We're having a mental prep workshop with Eric Weatherly from Duke University, a former athlete of ours, working out with St. John's Middle School Athletic Association and just helping the kids with their mental preparation as well.
Awesome. So if you want, you know what to do. They got to go to b3better.com.
Yes, sir.
And get all the information so that you can register for this great event. So listen, it was great. We want to see you guys in the house next week. You got to come back to see us at the Amateur's Edge. We got a lot of stuff coming up for you this season. So, but before we go, this segment was brought to you by Bank of England Mortgage Jacksonville, helping home buyers and homeowners accomplish their financing goals. Head on over to boejax.com and get to know their dedicated team. You've been listening to The Amateur's Edge on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Every great season starts in the